want you to imagine tonight, as you sit and listen, that every day, every decision, every relationship is another piece in that puzzle. The problem is, most people never realize they're working on a masterpiece. They chase after one piece, maybe the piece called money, maybe the one called pleasure, maybe the piece called work, and they hold it up and say, this is it, this is the answer. But what happens if you try to build the whole picture with only one piece? It doesn't work. It never will. There's an old story of a young man out searching for a treasure, running from town to town, turning over every rock, digging in every field. Years go by. He returns home weary and disappointed and discovers the treasure had been buried in his own backyard all along. Life is a bit like that. The real secret isn't out there somewhere. It's in the way you put the pieces together right where you are. But let's be honest. Most people don't stop to ask, what are the pieces? Why do some people seem to have it all? Peace, purpose, prosperity, while others, no matter how hard they work, never quite put it together. It's not that the pieces are missing. The trouble is, they haven't learned how to assemble them with intention. They haven't stepped back and looked at the big picture. Awareness, that's the first step. Awareness that a good life is built, not found. That happiness, fulfillment, wealth, health, they don't just drop in your lap by accident or fate. They are constructed brick by brick, day by day, choice by choice. I remember hearing someone say, if only I could get lucky just once. But luck is not a strategy. It's not a foundation. Relying on luck is like throwing puzzle pieces in the air and hoping they'll land in just the right spot. That's not how it works. What does work? First, you must become aware that your life is a project, a construction site, always in progress. You don't have to have every answer, not today, but you do have to see the pieces for what they are. You have to wake up one morning and look in the mirror and admit that the life you've got today is a result of the pieces you've been putting together. Some days maybe you've been careless with those pieces, trying to force one where it doesn't belong. Other days, maybe you've set a piece aside thinking it didn't matter, only to realize later it was essential for the big picture. I'm telling you, everything matters. Every decision, every attitude, every action, it's all part of the puzzle. If you neglect one area, your health, your relationships, your mind, eventually the whole puzzle suffers. The edges get rough, the picture blurs. So what's the answer? Begin with awareness. Decide right now that your life is worth assembling with care. Decide that you will seek out every piece, not just the easy ones, not just the shiny ones, but every piece required for a full and meaningful life. That's the first step on the journey. Awareness. From there, everything else follows. Now let's talk about the foundation, because every good puzzle needs one. You can't build a solid life on shaky ground. And what is that foundation? It's your personal philosophy, the set of ideas, beliefs, and values you hold to be true. It's the filter through which you see the world, the rules by which you play the game. I remember years ago realizing that every action I took, every habit I formed, traced right back to the ideas I'd accepted, often without much thought. If someone grew up believing that discipline is a burden, not a blessing, is it any wonder they struggle with consistency? If someone was taught that opportunity is scarce, that money is evil, or that success is reserved for others, not for themselves, well, that philosophy becomes a wall. It limits what's possible. So the first real work isn't out there in the world chasing success. It's inside. Ask yourself, what do you believe about opportunity, about effort, about what's possible for you? Sometimes the only thing standing between a person and the life they want is the set of ideas they picked up along the way, never tested, never challenged. Your personal philosophy shapes your habits, your attitude, your decisions. It determines whether you greet the day with hope or dread. It decides if you'll invest in your mind or let it sit idle. It whispers to you in the quiet moments, telling you what's possible, what's out of reach, what you should try or let go. Let's say two people are given the same set of circumstances, a job opportunity, a little seed money, a new friendship. One thrives, the other struggles. Why? It isn't just luck, it's philosophy. One sees opportunity, the other sees risk. One says, I can learn, the other says, I already know enough. One says, if I fail, I'll try again. The other says, I knew I'd fail. If you want to change your life, you have to start by changing your philosophy. That's the pivot point. Instead of letting circumstances shape what you believe, let what you believe shape your circumstances. Adopt the philosophy that discipline is the beginning of freedom, not its enemy. That opportunity is everywhere for the prepared mind. That responsibility isn't a burden, but the passport to a better future. I've seen it over and over. Someone's life turns around not because they got a new job or a new relationship, but because they adopted a new philosophy. They decided from this day forward to take responsibility for what happens next. They decided to see education as an investment, not an expense. They decided to believe that their past does not equal their future. So I challenge you, examine your beliefs. Where did they come from? Are they serving you or holding you back? Sometimes the greatest work you'll ever do is right there, reshaping what you believe about discipline, opportunity, responsibility, even yourself. And once you've got that foundation in place, watch what happens. Suddenly, your attitude shifts, your actions change, and those little changes over time change everything. So remember, philosophy is the first piece. Build it with intention, protect it fiercely, nourish it with good ideas, wise counsel, and honest reflection. Because with the right philosophy, the rest of the puzzle starts to make sense. Once you've begun to shape your philosophy, once you've built that strong inner foundation, there's something else that enters the picture: attitude. Attitude is like the lens through which you view life. You can hand two people the same set of facts, the same weather, the same job, the same opportunities. One sees possibilities, the other only problems. The facts don't change, the lens does. I used to think attitude was something you were born with, like the color of your eyes or the sound of your laugh. But over time, I realized that attitude is a choice, a decision you make every day. It's not set in stone. It's shaped by what you dwell on, what you allow to fill your mind. If you let complaints and doubts take root, pretty soon you start seeing weeds everywhere. But if you nurture gratitude and optimism, the world starts to look different. And think about this: when a challenge comes your way, and they will come, that's guaranteed, do you see it as an interruption, a burden, or as an invitation to grow, to get stronger? When you face setbacks, is your first thought, why me? Or do you say, what can I learn from this? The answer makes all the difference. Life gives you reasons to be discouraged, but it also offers countless reasons to feel grateful if you choose to look for them. I remember the story of a man with every reason to complain. His business had failed. His savings were gone. His health was shaky. But he made up his mind to focus on what he still had. He had his family, his friends, his faith. He made gratitude his daily practice, not just an occasional feeling. And slowly, things turned around. He didn't just get back on his feet. he grew stronger than ever. That's the power of attitude. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about facing reality with the conviction that you can respond, you can adapt, you can learn. The same wind blows on us all, as I've said before. The difference is the set of the sail, and that sail is attitude. One person lets adversity defeat them, another lets it build them. You get to choose. So how do you develop a winning attitude? Start with gratitude. Make it a habit to notice the good, the simple things, the little victories, the people who help you along the way. Next, practice optimism. That doesn't mean blind hope, but a quiet confidence that you can shape tomorrow by what you do today. And finally, take action. Nothing changes your attitude like progress, like seeing yourself move forward, even if it's only an inch at a time. Attitude is a magnet. It attracts opportunities, people, and results. When you cultivate the right attitude, doors start to open, sometimes in ways you never expected. Others want to help you, work with you, believe in you. And here's the secret. Your attitude is contagious. It spreads to your family, your coworkers, your friends. People catch it, for better or for worse. So ask yourself, what kind of attitude am I bringing to each day? Is it lifting me up or holding me back? Is it helping those around me or dragging them down? Because the lens you choose will color every piece of the puzzle. Choose wisely. Remember, it's not what happens that determines your life story. It's what you do about what happens. Attitude gives you the power to interpret every event, every moment, in a way that serves you. That's the kind of power worth cultivating. Now, once the philosophy is set, and you've chosen your attitude, there's another piece that can't be ignored, the piece called action. If you want change, if you want results, you have to cross the bridge from idea to reality. And that bridge is always built with action. Ideas are wonderful. They can inspire, they can excite. But ideas alone are like seeds left in a sack, potential and nothing more. The magic is in the planting, the tending, the daily effort. I've known people with notebooks full of plans, dreams, written on every page, and yet nothing ever seems to materialize. Why? Because thinking about action and taking action are two entirely different things. You see, nothing works until you do. Knowledge, as valuable as it is, only begins its work when you put it to use. I often hear, if only I had more information, more time, more support. But the truth is, most people are not held back by lack of information. They're held back by lack of motion. The first step may not be perfect, but it starts momentum. And momentum is a mighty force. I remember when I made a decision to change my health, to get my finances in order, to build new skills. It started small. Not grand gestures, not overnight miracles, just small actions, repeated until they added up to a new reality. If you plant, you'll harvest. If you don't, you won't. It's as simple and as profound as that. Every disciplined effort, no matter how minor, carries within it the seeds of reward. You get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. You get healthier by bringing discipline to your habits. You build relationships by investing time, attention, and kindness. The key is consistency, not bursts of energy now and then, but the steady application of effort, day after day. Some people are always waiting for the right time, the perfect circumstances, but the perfect time rarely comes. The best time is usually now. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires participation. Show up, do your best, learn, adjust, and keep going. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be is built with footsteps, not wishes. You can have the finest philosophy, the brightest attitude, but if you don't translate those into action, the puzzle remains unfinished. Don't let the day slip by with nothing to show for it. Turn learning into labor. Let your dreams pull you into motion. Let your goals shape your daily agenda. And remember, it's not just about how much you do, but how consistently you do it. One step at a time, one phone call, 1 hour spent in study or work, those small moments add up to big changes. Keep at it long enough, and the harvest comes. Sometimes quietly, sometimes all at once, but it comes. So the question to ask yourself isn't just what do I know or what do I want, but what will I do today, tomorrow, and the next day? Because that is where transformation begins. The bridge from idea to result is action. Build that bridge with care and cross it every day. Next, the fourth piece to life's puzzle: results. Results are the great truth tellers of life. No matter how hard we try to argue, explain, or make excuses, results stand there, silent and honest, showing us exactly what we've created so far. Take a moment and think about your health, your bank account, your relationships, your skills. These are the report cards life hands out. Sometimes, when that report card arrives, it's tempting to blame circumstances, other people, or plain old bad luck. But results don't play favorites, and they don't argue. They simply report. And what they report is the sum total of your philosophy, your attitude, and your actions stacked up over time. There was a time in my own life when I wanted better results. I wanted more prosperity, more joy, more freedom. I looked around and realized what I had was simply a mirror of my past decisions. That can be a tough realization, but it's also a liberating one. Because if your current results aren't what you want, that's not the end of the story. It's just feedback. See, the soil doesn't care who you are. It only returns what you plant. Plant good seeds, take care of the soil, pull the weeds, and you'll get a good harvest. Neglect it, and you get a different kind of harvest. The lesson is simple. Don't resent the report card. Don't curse the mirror. Instead, study it, learn from it, then adjust your input. If your health isn't where you want it to be, look at the habits that brought you here. If your finances aren't where you'd hoped, examine the philosophy and actions behind your spending, saving, and investing. If relationships have frayed, trace it back to the attitudes and choices that shaped them. There's always a cause behind every effect. But here's the beauty of results. They can be changed. Today's report card doesn't lock you in for life. You can write a new story by changing what you plant, how you tend, and the consistency of your efforts. The mirror simply reflects back what you've given to it. Change the input, and in time, you'll see a new reflection. That's why results are a blessing, not a curse. They keep us honest. They remind us that life rewards effort, discipline, learning, and growth. Results are the scoreboard that lets you know how you're doing and where you might need to make an adjustment. Some people get discouraged by poor results, but I say, let them motivate you, not defeat you. Let them shine a light on the next area for growth. If the garden isn't blooming, don't blame the flowers. Check the soil, the water, the sunlight, and start again. Remember, there's no shame in starting over, and there's tremendous power in facing the truth. The person willing to look at the scoreboard, learn from the numbers, and make new decisions. That's the person who wins in the long run. So let results guide you, not define you. Study them, appreciate them, and let them point the way toward a better harvest next season. The mirror never lies, but it never stops you from polishing, improving, and growing. That's the true value of results in the puzzle of life. Now, here's the piece that gives meaning to all the others, the piece called lifestyle. When all is said and done, the ultimate reward isn't the money, the applause, or the trophies on the shelf. It's the life you get to live each day, the way you spend your time, the quality of your health, the freedom to go where you want, and the peace that comes from knowing you've built well. Lifestyle is the harvest of philosophy, attitude, action, and results. It's not just about earning a good living. It's about living a good life. You see, there are people who have plenty of money, but little joy. There are others who have free time, but they lack direction or health. The good life is built from balance. That's the word I want you to remember: balance. Ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to build? Not just what you want to accumulate, but how you want to feel, who you want to become, what kind of example you want to set for your family, your friends, your community. True lifestyle means you can take a deep breath and feel content, knowing you've done your best, you've helped others, and you haven't sacrificed your values along the way. Some people spend a lifetime climbing the ladder, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. They sacrificed health for wealth, or relationships for recognition. But the good life isn't about trade-offs. It's about harmony. Earning well, yes, but also living well and giving well. Years ago, I began to see that lifestyle was more than vacations or luxuries. It was having enough time to enjoy a meal with family, to read a good book, to take a walk at sunset. It was about generosity, sharing what you've learned, what you've earned, and who you've become. That's the richness money can't buy. So what does it take to build a meaningful lifestyle? It takes intentional choices. It takes deciding that every day matters, that moments with loved ones aren't just extras, but essentials. It takes managing your health with the same care you manage your business. It takes building in time for reflection, gratitude, and rest. If you earn well, but never enjoy the fruit, what's the point? If you work hard, but miss out on your children growing up, have you really succeeded? If you reach the top of your field, but your body is worn out, was it worth the price? These are questions worth asking before the years slip by. The best lifestyle isn't reserved for a lucky few. It's available to anyone willing to assemble the puzzle pieces with care. The reward is in the freedom. Freedom to choose your days, to travel, to serve, to explore, to rest. It's in the quiet satisfaction of knowing you've done your best, given your best, and lived with intention. Remember, the good life is built, not bought. It's earned by bringing all the pieces together: philosophy, attitude, action, results, and then lifestyle. That's the purpose of the journey: to live in such a way that at the end of each day, you can say, I invested well, I lived well, I gave well. That is the real treasure at the end of the puzzle.